Another mouth
1180
to feed.
AD, northern France. You were born in a stone manor house that smells like wet dogs, old tallow, and wood smoke. You aren't a peasant, don't start celebrating. You are the third son of a minor lord. In the medieval world, that's a polite way of saying you are a biological spare tire with no inheritance. Your father doesn't read you fairy
muddy
tales.
ditch in
He shows
Palestine.
you his scars and tells you how he got them in a muddy ditch in Palestine. Your first toy isn't a horse, it's a wooden dagger. Your first lesson? Violence is the only currency that never devalues. To the world, you are noble. To your father, you are an asset. They want you tall, broad, and capable of carrying 30 kilograms of iron without vomiting from exhaustion. While peasant children are learning to plant seeds, you are learning how to break ribs. You are being forged like a blade, heated by service, hammered by discipline, and cooled in the icy reality that your life belongs to someone else. Age 7. Most kids today are starting school. Your childhood is officially over. Your father packs your bag and sends you to the castle of his liege lord. You are now a page. Forget the glory. You are a glorified waiter with a fancy surname. You spend your days scrubbing the stone floors of the great hall until your knees bleed. You serve wine to drunk barons who smell like soured ale. You carve meat with surgical precision while they argue about taxes. But
He
while you're
smells like a
holding the
dead
basin
cow.
for the Lord to wash his hands, you are a sponge. You are watching. You learn etiquette, how to speak to power without getting your teeth kicked in. You learn the law of the land, and every afternoon you are in the courtyard, wrestling, running, getting bullied by the older boys. If you cry, you're a failure. If you complain, you're a peasant. You are learning the most important lesson of the Middle Ages. Hierarchy is everything. You are at the bottom of the castle, but you are part of the machine. Age 14. You've grown. You're lean, scarred, and your hands are as hard as oak. You are now a squire. The real fun begins. You are assigned to a knight. You are his valet, his shadow, and his personal mechanic. Your morning starts with armor maintenance. You take his chainmail, put it in a barrel with sand and vinegar, and roll it around for 2 hours to get the rust off. The sound is deafening. The sand gets under your fingernails. Your hands are a mess of small cuts and chemical burns. Then, the horses. You groom the destriers. These aren't horses. They're 800-kilogram biological tanks. They're trained to bite, kick, and crush the skulls of anyone they don't know. One wrong move, and a destrier will turn your chest into a bag of broken glass. You learn to handle them with more respect than you show the king. Then comes the training. Every day you face the quintain, a wooden target on a swivel. You hit it with a blunt lance. If you don't hit the center with perfect force, the counterweight swings around and knocks you off your feet. You've been unconscious 4 times this month. Then there's the pell, a wooden post in the ground. You hit it with a sword that weighs 3 kilograms, over and over. 10,000 strikes. Your shoulders are permanently hunched. Your knuckles are a map of scar tissue. You aren't a person anymore. You're a weapon system designed to deliver maximum energy through a sharpened tip. Let's look at your gear. This isn't just clothes. This is an investment that costs more than 10 peasant farms combined. The gambeson, your base layer. 30 layers of linen. It's stiff, it's hot, and it smells like a locker room in a plague year. It's your internal airbag. Without it, the first mace hit would shatter your ribs even through steel. The hauberk, 30,000 iron rings, each one hand-riveted, 12 kilograms hanging from your shoulders. It stops a sword from cutting you, but it won't stop a spear from rupturing your liver. The great helm, a steel bucket. You see through 2 tiny slits. Visibility, 10%. Oxygen, minimal. You are breathing your own hot CO2 like a scuba diver in a sauna. The arming sword, a 1-meter bar of iron. It's a tool for hacking through leather and thrusting into gaps. The heater shield, wood and leather, your only real insurance policy. The war horse, the most expensive item. If the horse dies, you are just a very expensive, slow-moving tin can on a battlefield. Total weight, 30 kilograms. Total cost, if you lose this gear, your family will be in debt for 3 generations. Being a knight is like owning a supercar, but you have to crash it into people every weekend. Age 21. Big day. The accolade. You've spent the entire night in a freezing chapel, praying. Total silence. You are tired, starving, and terrified of the responsibility. The Lord taps your shoulder with a sword. Rise, Sir Knight. Then he punches you, hard, the collé. It's a strike to the jaw to make sure you remember this moment. It's the last blow you'll ever receive without the right to hit back. You get your gold spurs, you get your banner. You are now at the top of the food chain. There's a catch. You are now legally obligated to die whenever your lord feels like having a border dispute over a muddy village. The king calls for war. You think of glory? Forget it. War is 95% marching through the rain. You spend weeks in the mud. Your armor starts to rust at the joints, squeaking with every step. Your expensive horse is limping because of a stone in its hoof. The diet, salted pork that tastes like wood, and crackers filled with weevils. The water, you drink from a stream. You don't know that 2 miles upstream, a rival army has been dumping their sewage. 3 days later, you have the bloody Flux, dysentery. You are a noble knight, but you are shitting liquid fire every 20 minutes. You are so weak you can't lift your shield. More knights die in the latrine trenches than on the field. There is no poetry in shitting yourself to death in a tent. The horns sound. The enemy is in sight. You lower your visor. The world disappears. You only see a narrow horizontal strip of the horizon. Your heart is hammering against your ribs like a trapped bird. The charge. You spur your horse. The ground shakes. The sound of 500 knights charging is a thunderstorm made of metal. The impact. Your lance hits an enemy shield. It shatters into 1,000 splinters. The shock goes up your arm, through your shoulder, into your spine. It's a high-speed collision. The enemy knight is thrown off his horse like a rag doll. You pull your mace. The battle becomes a marsh pit with lethal weapons. You can't hear orders. You can only hear the screaming of men and the wet thud of steel hitting meat. You hit a man's helmet. It doesn't break, but his brain rattles inside like a marble. He's alive, but he'll never remember his name. It's crowded, it's sweaty, and it's a meat grinder. The battle is over. You survived. You see a defeated earl on the ground. You don't kill him, you help him up. Why? Ransom. A living earl is worth 2,000 gold pieces. A dead earl is just a pile of waste. Chivalry is just a business model for the 1%. But the commoners, the archers who tried to put an arrow in your eye, you show them no mercy. You hunt them down like rabbits. Then you check yourself. Your arm is bleeding, a small, dirty wound from a peasant's dagger. You go to the surgeon. He's also the guy who cuts hair in the village. He looks at the wound. It's green. The treatment? No anesthesia. He grabs a red-hot iron. 2 men hold you down. The smell of your own burning flesh fills the room. You scream until your lungs burn. If the shock doesn't kill you, the infection might. Years pass. You are 45. Your back is ruined. Your knees click like a clock. But the world is changing. At the last battle, you saw something terrifying. The longbowmen. Peasants. Men who don't know how to ride a horse. They stood 200 yards away and rained arrows that went through your plate armor like it was paper. And then the handgun, a noisy, smoky tube, a coward's weapon. A peasant who can't read pulls a trigger, and a lead ball puts a hole through a knight who spent 30 years training. The age of the steel god is over. You are an expensive relic in a world of cheap death. It wasn't a heroic duel. There was no sunset. During a small border skirmish, your horse stepped in a rabbit hole. The animal screamed and collapsed. You didn't even have time to react. You fell head-first into a muddy ditch. The weight of your 30-kilogram armor did the rest. Snap! Your neck broke instantly. You died face down in the mud, unable to even see the sky. Game over. Total years lived, 48. Kills, 15 nobles ransomed, 500+ peasants forgotten. Total debt, 2,000 gold florins. Cause of death, a rabbit hole and gravity. Legacy, your son sells your rusted armor the next day to pay for his own horse. Chivalry was the lie, iron was the truth, and the mud takes everyone in the end. You lived as a medieval knight. You were the steel fist of an era that didn't care if you lived or died. Chivalry was the beautiful song. Iron was the cold reality. And in the end, the reality always wins. If you felt the phantom weight of that iron helm on your shoulders, crush the like button like a morning star. Now, the choice is yours. Whose life should we step into next? Whose eyes should we borrow for the next journey through hell?